We are deep into our fast, 58 hours in. This is the moment where the body starts doing its deep work. But even more powerful than that is what happens in the mind. And we are tonight, in this episode, not just talking about your body and how it feels. It's also, we're talking about how you are becoming and who you are becoming. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. If you're new to me, that's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level, and create the life you've always wanted. We're creating that life. And we are living limitless lives, which says that nothing outside of us or nothing inside is going to prevent us from doing what we need to do to be successful. We're presenting our best selves, our best health, and our best plans. We're breaking through those obstacles. We're breaking through those barriers. We're breaking through those things that are holding us back, and we are showing up, and we are living that limitless life. If you're new to me, go ahead and put new in the comments, because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music, and let you know that we are excited that you're here. If you do have questions, go ahead and put those in the comments, because we want to make sure we get to those as we move through the episode tonight. As you know, we have been walking through our Limitless Living Health Action Plan, and we are in the process of using one of those pillars, as we continually do every week, that pillar of fasting, to see how fasting can set us up for success when it comes to our metabolism. And of course, we are pairing with that another one of the pillars, that is mental mastery. That is building the mind, the powers that your health, that your body gets when we are able to pair those two together. We are excited because we're here, and if you've been following us along on our YouTube channel, you know that we're also in our series, which is called Strength, Strategy, and Mindset, and you have not experienced the full benefit of all the things that we're doing if you've not been over there to that series. It's an amazing series that we are doing. It is part of our MOVE campaign. Remember, metabolic optimization via exercise. We did our 100-day walk to consistency, and we concluded that, and now we are in the middle of our MOVE campaign. We go ahead and pull that up so you can see what we've been doing. And as part of that, we are saying, how do we make sure that we are keeping the body as healthy as possible? How do we make sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do to be successful in that space? We've got some dumbbells that we're using. We've got some bench presses, some press and curls. We're doing some squats, and we're doing everything we possibly can do. Remember, metabolically active muscles are muscles that will burn sugar, that will burn calories, that will get us into autophagy, that will get us into all of those spaces that we say that we want to be when our body is doing its work to make us healthy. So make sure that you get over there if you've not done so yet. It's an amazing series. If you did not catch us during the 100-day walk to consistency in health, that's okay, because it's out on the channel. And everything that we're doing so far in the Strength, Strategy, and Mindset is also out on the channel. And those, we are right now on day number 53. That's right. We're on the second half of that 100-day series. So make sure you join us there. And all of this, of course, is what we're doing as we are walking through our health action plan, right? So each of the components that we've been walking through over the last several weeks, as we've moved through our Dwain Woode MD live episodes, has been with the intention of walking through this plan. So make sure that you join us, and we are moving, right? We are working to be healthy. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at blood sugars. As you know, that's one of the things that we do. I've got my blood sugar monitors that we're going to take a look at here in just a minute. I've got my Contour and my Keto Mojo, and of course right down below me, that is my Dexcom Clarity Report. So let's go ahead and let's take a look and see what my blood sugars are on my continuous glucose monitor. Right now, it looks like my Libre is not behaving properly, but that's okay. We'll take a look and see what the Dexcom is showing. And you'll see right here, that's my blood sugar, right about there. That's what my blood sugar is right now. And then scrolling down below, this is what the graph looks like of what my blood sugars have been today. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put my finger on that graph, and we get to see what some of those numbers are. And you'll see this is about 11:30 last night. And kind of scrolling through, we were in 100s, low 100s, 90s. I think we spiked up there up to about, let's see, up to, what was that, 137, right, that morning, right? Remember, that's the toothpaste effect, as I call it. And then blood sugars continue dropping as we move through the rest of the day in the low 100s, even sometimes going into the 80s or 90s. And then, of course, where we are right now at 92. Right now, for some reason, my Libre is not picking up the signal, but we'll kind of deal with that here in a minute. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at my blood sugars on the monitors. And I have my Keto Mojo and my Contour. Let's go ahead and grab a Lancet. Well, first of all, let me grab. See, do I have any more? Should. There we go. I need a blue one for ketones. I need a brown one for blood sugars. And then we're going to grab a couple of Lancets out of there. There we go. And then I also need a strip for the Contour. Let's grab that, get that out of there. All right. And so we are now 58 hours into this week's fast. So what do you think my ketones are going to be when I do check that? What do you think those are going to be? Put those in the chat, in the comments. Get that one in. Let's go ahead and open up. This is the blood sugar strip for the Keto Mojo. Get that in here. And I'm also going to go ahead and open up. The strip for the ketones, because I want to make sure I have that readily available, because it's the one that always gives me trouble, right? And I don't want that blood that we're going to get here, that drop of blood, to dry. All right, and so here's my Lancet. I'm going to pull that out and just grab a finger, and I usually use this one right here. So, and as you see, I don't use a lancing device. I just use the, ow, that hurts. And let's see if we got a drop of blood, but not a very brisk one. But so we'll see if that will work. Let's get this one. We need 3 drops, right? So I need 1 for the blood sugar for the Keto Mojo. I need 1 for the Contour. All right, get that started. And you see 68 is what that says. And I need 1 more drop. I need 1 more drop for, and there we are. I need 1 more drop for the ketones. So let's go ahead and get that in. Oops. And get that started. All right, so I think I made it. So I got, yeah, there we are. I thought I would have to do another finger stick. And so what do you think is going to be? Drum roll, please. And it is 0.9. Wow, interesting. 0.9. So as you know, 0.5 or lower than 0.5 is considered normal. 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis. And of course, higher than 1.5 is considered a therapeutic ketosis. So that's where I am. And let's go ahead and let's hop over to, here is my Dexcom Clarity report. You see my average blood sugar right there is 121 with a glucose management indicator of 6.2. So that means if I were to get an A1C based on these numbers, 6.2 is where I'd be. I'm in target 99% of the time right there. And target is anywhere from 70 to 180. Okay. If I change this to a 90-day view, average blood sugar of 112 with a glucose management indicator of 6.0, Once again, 97% in target, with the target once again being between 70 to 180. And then if I go and actually look at the report itself, so here's where my blood sugars are right now, 94. And you see for most of today, we've kind of been hovering in the low hundreds, mid to upper 90s to low 100s for most of the day. Right down here is what I call the toothpaste effect. All right, so notice that we were down in the 90s, 100s, and then as I got up and brushed my teeth, we got those spikes that started up into the 130s. Now so this is right now, let's see, right about here, this is 56 hours. If I go back 24 hours, here we are at 33 hours. And then if I go backwards, right, so right here, 9 o'clock would have been, like, how many hours is that? So 12 to 9, so basically 10, actually 1 to 9, basically 8 hours. 8 hours of fasting, so this is where we started. And then if I go further back into the days following fast, I'm gonna scroll back here quickly. So we ended our fast right here last Friday, and notice the blood sugars kind of stayed in the low 100s, got up to the 130s, right, 140s, 150, 151 by the end of the day, and then 120s. That was on Saturday. On Sunday, we got up to 170, right about there, and then stayed in the 130s, 150s for most of that day. So our goal is really not to have huge spikes in blood sugar. And you see we kind of in the 120s, and then of course leading up to where we were when we started our fast there on Tuesday. All right. So that's where we are. That's what the blood sugars have been, and right now 95 is where I am in terms of my blood sugar, and that right now I am excited about that because if you guys remember last night when I came on, I said that we were going to dinner, and we had a business dinner that was going on, and you guys voted that I was going to maintain my fast, which I did. And so we just came back from that event, and we'll talk a little bit more about that perhaps when we do our complete check-in tomorrow, about what that was like being in a social setting and fasting. And really, it became part of the conversation, to be honest. But I had a great time, and so it is just another indication that just because you're fasting doesn't mean that you have to avoid or you have to do something different than you normally do in terms of fasting. But we'll talk more about that as we move into tomorrow. And that was a result of the vote that you guys did last night on our episode, when I asked you to help me make a decision. And if you didn't see our check-in, our pop-up live check-in for today that we did right about 1:30 today, this afternoon, it was a great discussion about the mindset that you should be in when we talk about fasting or social events and all the things that sometimes will happen there. Okay? All right. So now let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at get into our discussion and just talk more about fasting and mental mastery and what that means. So let's go ahead and let's do that right now. All right, so let's shift gears and dive into the heart of tonight's discussion. Because if you've ever started a plan, felt motivated, Maybe even saw some early wins, weight, blood sugars, blood pressure, but then you lost the footing. You're not alone, and you're not broken. What's missing for most people isn't another health tip or a new diet. It's mental mastery. This next section is about the inner engine, if you will, behind every sustainable transformation. Everything that we do, how we see things, how we view things, the lenses through which we're seeing the world. It's how we go from information to integration, from good intentions to lasting identity shifts. So let's walk through what mental mastery really means. What is it? Why so many people struggle to build it, and the exact tools you can use to train your mind so it works for you and not against you. Right? So let's hop into it. So what's happening right now metabolically in my body when we're at 58 hours, and that's where we are. I am, and you are, if you've been following us, if you are fasting with us, you're in a unique phase of the fasting process. Fat adaptation is fully underway. Your body is no longer searching for sugar. It's running clean on the fat and on the ketones. Right? So when we were doing our check-in yesterday, we said 24 to 36 hours, the body is still kind of looking, the glycogen is pretty much gone, body's looking for energy. And right now, the fat adaptation is in full force. So your body is not looking anymore. It knows where to get it. And it is running on that clean energy. Autophagy is peaking. Remember, those old damaged cells are being recycled. The body's going and taking them and converting them, recycling them, converting them to better version, newer version of itself, and sending those back into circulation. Growth hormone is elevated. You're preserving muscles while you're burning fat. Insulin is extremely low. That's giving your pancreas a real rest and allowing insulin sensitivity to rebuild. So as the blood sugars are going down, insulin is going down. When insulin goes down, ketones come out, fat burning is going on. All those benefits are happening right here at 58 hours. But what's really happening mentally? What's happening mentally? So cortisol levels are spiking. That started at the beginning. You're under physical stress when we first start, and your brain is watching. Dopamine is recalibrating. You're not chasing food rewards right now. The cravings have gone. And all you're fighting right now are the social cues or the mental part of fasting. Your brain is rewiring how it feels and the pleasure that it gets. It's rewiring how it feels pleasure. And neuroplasticity is active. Yes. Your brain is literally changing during fasting. Fasting has been shown to improve things like cognitive function. It stimulates brain-derived natriuretic factor. And that, I always say when I talk about this, it's like miracle growth for the brain. It enhances focus. That discomfort, that fog, that little voice saying, just stop. That's not a failure. It's a sign the transformation is on the way. So how do we go about training the mental muscle to respond and not react? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody says something to you and you reacted to them, right? Whatever came to your mind, the first thing that came to your head is what you said. You were not responding, you were actually reacting. Right? Most people quit here at this space because they think discomfort means danger. We're used to not being uncomfortable. But in this discomfort, there is data. It's a signal that you're existing, that you are exiting survival mode and you are entering the growth zone. This is the identity work. This is where things happen. When your routine The things that you normally do for comfort, when they're gone, who are you? When the reward isn't immediate, how do you act? When the noise fades, what do you hear inside? So fasting strips all of that away, the buffers, the distractions. You meet your raw self, because all of the buffering, all of those other things that happens when we use food, they're gone now, and you are, in essence, bare in the situation where you are. And that is where resilience is born. This is where your brain is trained, not just to endure, but to evolve. Now, I want you to get that. I want you to get that right there. So sometimes we are able to, like, I'm gonna just white knuckle it. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna, right, whatever it is, and we kind of almost will ourselves through it. But we don't want to will ourselves through it. We want our brains to evolve. We want our body, our thought process, our emotions, our hormones. We want them to evolve to the place where we're not just barely hanging on with with our fingertips, but we are actually able to fully engage and fully function. Let me give you an example. That something happens to me tonight, right? And you heard me say that I went out with a group tonight where we had a meeting. It was a social/business meeting. And the decision that I had to make was, am I fasting or am I not fasting? And normally that would be a friction point. That would be, oh man, I want to go, I want to enjoy, I want to see the food, or I want to eat the food, or everybody around me is eating, so let me go ahead and, right? So all those things would be going on, but not now. Because I am learning, I am evolving, I am becoming. I shouldn't even say I'm becoming, I am embodying what Limitless Living says, that I make the choice. I get to do. I get to fast or not fast. But it's a decision that I make. Not a decision that comes from my reaction to food. It is a response that I have. Let's be specific. At 58 hours, the amygdala, right? That's that basal part of the brain, the survival part of the brain. The amygdala is calming. You're learning to sit with emotions instead of reacting to them. The prefrontal cortex is leading. That's that thinking part of the brain. It's let me give you an example. It's kind of like being at the zoo, and you see a tiger, and normally we run from tigers. Right? So see a tiger out and run. And you get ready to run because the amygdala has taken over. But the prefrontal cortex says, hey, wait. You don't have to run from that tiger because that tiger is actually behind the bars. Notice the same tiger, same responses can happen, but the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain says we don't have to fear that tiger because that tiger is not out in the wild. That tiger is behind the bars. So the prefrontal cortex is that part of the brain that's responsible for planning, for logic, for decisions. Brain-derived natriuretic factor is helping build new connections. This is the brain's growth in real time. The more you fast, the more you build mental agility. So this idea of the body being able to quickly switch between sources, adaptation. You're not just getting leaner, you're getting stronger in your identity. We're no longer trying to be, but we are. We're not working on becoming someone who fasts, but we are a person who fasts. In our series that we did, Strength Strategy, 100-Day Walk to Consistency, one of the points that we made at close to the end, or actually the 3/4 into that series, is we were no longer working to become people who were consistent. We are no longer working to be people who are resilient. We were no longer working to people who were efficacious or who have self-confidence. We were now living in that. We were embodying the things that we had been trying to do. No longer trying, but this is it. This is who we are. So let's talk about a few tools to stay centered and to stay strong. How do we ride this wave without falling off? So let me give you 3 tools. Number 1, name the discomfort. Name the discomfort. You want to say out loud, this is just fatigue. This is just a craving. This is not my body saying I need this. This is not my body saying that this can't be done. This is not my body telling me to give up. This is just fatigue. This is just a craving. When we name it, it shrinks it. Name it, we shrink it. Number 2, frame the story. Don't say I'm starving. You want to say my body is switching fuel sources. This is my upgrade. This language shapes identity. Now we are reframing. And I know you may think, oh, those are just nice, pretty words. We're ignoring. We're not ignoring. The things that we tell our brain. Oh, come on, here's one. The stories that we tell our brain are the stories that the brain tries to create in our lives. The more we say we can't, the more the brain will say, okay, let's find reasons why we can't. The more we say we can, we're able to, the more the brain will find occasions where we are being successful. And so the words that we use, the stories we tell ourselves are very powerful in our ability to identify spaces where we can be successful, where we can fast. If I tell myself I can't fast, I never fast, this is not going to be good. Those words build up, and they become a part of me. I begin believing them. And what we believe, the brain will try to make come true. So number one, we want to name the discomfort, right? Say it out loud. Number 2, we want to frame the story in a different way. I'm not starving. My body is switching fuel sources. This is my upgrade. And then you want to anchor to your new identity. Close your eyes and say this. I am the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. My body is becoming metabolically free and metabolically right. I am someone who fasts. I'm not trying to fast. I am someone who fasts. You don't need more motivation. You need more alignment. That is, alignment is are the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, are they in line with who I say I am, who I am becoming, who I've learned to be? This is where structure and rhythm come into play. As part of the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. So rhythm keeps you consistent, and structure keeps you aligned with your why. Mental mastery at 58 hours isn't about pushing harder. It's about choosing who you are at this moment. And if you are coming into this as a newbie, as someone who's never fasted before, as someone who is now accessing the Limitless Living Health Action Plan, I want you to go back and I want you to listen to the words that I use. We are living a limitless life. And limitless living says we're not allowing anything from outside. No external force, no scheduling, no external situation. No person. or anything from inside, any of my history, any of my depression, any of my anxiety, any of my self-doubt, any of the negative thoughts that I give or I have, or the negative words that I use for myself. Nothing from outside or nothing from inside. I'm not allowing any of it to prevent me from doing what I need to do to be successful. I'm breaking free, breaking through, I'm breaking past the boundaries, the restrictions, the obstacles. And I'm presenting my best self, my best health, and my best plans for my life. So where I am right now, this is who I am. This is someone who is adequate. This is someone who is sufficient in themselves right now, just the way I am. That's who I'm bringing. And then Limitless Living says that that person that I just showed up with gets to grow, gets to change, gets to evolve, gets to get bigger and richer. So I'm choosing to, this is the person I'm bringing. And in the process of getting through or walking through Limitless Living, I am evolving. I'm becoming a better person. I'm becoming a healthier person. My metabolism is getting better. And fasting, coupled with the mindset that we're talking about, those two things together are unstoppable. The lens through which I see things, the reframing that I do, helps me get through fasting. And fasting helps me learn how to deal with situations, deal with the emotions that will come up, deal with my dysfunction, my emotional dysfunction. All of that. So you're not weak for feeling those thoughts. We're rewiring our brains. You're teaching your body a new language, your brain a new pattern, and your identity a new truth. The identity is that this is who I am. You are no longer reacting, you are responding. I can see food and not use the food to get out of the discomfort. I can be uncomfortable and I could sit in my discomfort without resorting to eating. We learn that during fasting. I'm no longer chasing comfort, I'm chasing capacity. I have the capacity to absorb the discomfort. I have the capacity to sit in the discomfort. I have the capacity to find a way to soothe myself, find a way to deal with that situation without resorting to the thing I normally do, which is the food. The COPE model, right? We clarify, we observe, we pause, we execute. That pause and execute, yeah, we're doing something different than I normally do. This is transformation in real time. So right now, we're not giving up. We're just doing a fast. We are someone new. The person we showed up with, who used to be there, is no longer the person that's here. And so as you move through your fasting, as you are working on rewiring your brain, rewiring your person, rewiring who you are, what I want you to do is I want you to be thinking. I want you to be thinking. I want you to be rehearsing for yourself. What is the focus of who I am? What is my rhythm? What is my alignment? What is the structure? Rhythm, alignment, and structure. And here's what I want you to take away. As I said, you're not weak. This is the core of mental mastery. A deliberate daily practice of choosing your future self over your familiar patterns. If my future self were to come back, what would my future self say to myself right now? When your thoughts align with your vision, your actions will follow. I said it again. When your thoughts align with your vision, your actions follow. And remember, this isn't about perfection, right? We're talking about, okay, you got to do it the same way all the time. It's about presence, it's about practice, and it's about progress. Every time we walk through the COPE model, remember the COPE model is the tool for mental mastery. Every time we pause, every reframed thought, every intentional response is a rep. It is another exercise of the muscle. And every rep builds the life you're meant to live. So we keep training. We keep noticing. We keep leading our mind instead of following the fear. This is the mindset that powers true transformation. And it's already, come on, it's already inside. We just have to actuate it. We have to activate it. When we talk about the Limitless Living Health Action Plan, that's why it's called the Health Action Plan. Because the action that we take is what powers the plan. Other than that, it's just theory. But it doesn't come to life until you infuse it with your behavior. The things that you do on a consistent daily basis of walking through each of the pillars. The walking, the fasting, the strength training, the balanced bites, the rest and restoration, the mental mastery. Each of those, as we're moving through the process, each of those as we walk through the path, each of those builds on each other. And here's the beauty about this. They're all free of charge. Did you hear me? They're all free of charge. You can right now walk through every single one of the Limitless Living Health Action Plan pillars that we've done so far. Right now, where you are. Walking, fasting, strength training, balanced bites, rest and restoration, and changing our mindset. All of it right now you can do. Because it's already there. And you have the ability to make that choice. And that's what self-efficacy said. It says that I believe, based on history, not just based on my whimsical thinking, not based on my imagination, not based on something I dreamed, based on evidence, I can make a decision. I can take an action. I can, with my showing up and being consistent, I can chart the course of my health. And remember, dysfunctional metabolism is the thing that's at the base and at the forefront and as the foundation of all of the chronic diseases that we talk about. Those metabolic diseases, dysfunctional metabolism. And so what we're in the business of doing right now is getting that metabolism back to where it needs to be. And that's the beauty of where we are. Now, many of you are you're saying to yourself, well, what is this thing that we're doing? And it is that we are righting the metabolism. We are changing, we are growing, we are expanding, and we're walking through a limitless life, which is with righted metabolism, with our blood pressures better, our blood sugars better, our cholesterol lower, our fatty liver improved, polycystic ovarian syndrome. We've reversed our diabetes. We've reversed our metabolic syndrome. We've reversed our pre-diabetes. All of that happens as we couple fasting and with mental mastery, and as we walk through the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. We'll come back and we'll continue talking about more in this episode. This was an amazing one. Join us for that next episode as we are continuing to move through the space of Limitless Living Health Action Plan. And we will continue to work on how we can get our metabolism right. So we continue to walk through that plan. We are up to pillar number 6. We have one more pillar to go, which we will talk about on Dwain Woode MD Live on Monday as we move through that. So each of the ones that we've done so far, notice that they've built on each other, right? And one of the points that I want to make is as we talk about each of those pillars, just like when we talked about the domains of health, they are not in isolation. It's not like this one is over here and it's totally removed from this one over here, which is totally removed from this one over here. They all interact. You can't touch one without affecting the other. You can't start walking without that affecting what's going on in terms of your your thought process. You can't start build strength training without your metabolism getting better, without your blood sugars getting better. You can't do any of the ones that we are talking about without them all interacting with each other. You can't rest and get restoration without something else improving. So they're not done in isolation. They are coupled together, and as you walk through, you will find that one impacts another and impacts another and they all build on each other. And our goal is, how do we use all of them just like a checkbox? Remember, it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint for getting my metabolism in the right space and getting it back to homeostasis. That's that word that means sameness. That's what we're working on. Yeah? All right. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure that you remember is that our 100-day walk to consistency and our strength training are out on the channel, and I showed you already the video of the let me pull that up. I showed you already the video, the one that we did, the video of our exercise, right? This is the strength, strategy, and mindset that we're going through right now. We are on day number 53, right? So we've got some, let's see, what are we doing there? So I'm doing some presses, and so here we're doing some curl and presses, right? And we're looking to see some physical benefits, right? So we're looking to see, and if you come back on, not this week, but the beginning of every odd week, the end of every even week, right? You get to see me as I show you physically what is going on, what some of the benefits are of the activities that we're doing, right? So if you want to see that, come on back. Well, I should say, if you want to see that, come on back and you'll get to see that there. But I do want to go back and say also on the channel is our 100-day walk to consistency. All of those are out on the channel, and you can start from where you are. Some people say, well, I missed that series, but you have not missed it. It's there. You can go back and you can look at that. And as we are walking, as we're going through this series now, we're not doing this series in isolation. We're actually doing this series in combination, because it is and let me go ahead and pull that one up. It is a part of our MOVE campaign. That's our metabolic optimization via exercise. Right? So the campaign is MOVE, M-O-V-E, metabolic optimization via exercise. So we're using exercise to get our metabolism righted. Right? And so we did that series, and if you've not been there yet, it was an amazing one. I have grown. I have gotten better. I have improved as a result of this series. Okay? All right. So everything that we do is built on our Triple E formula for success. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. We educate with the blogs, with the podcasts, with the shows that we do. This is with the idea of changing our mentation, changing our thought process. This goes back to our pillar. Because everything that we do, every behavior, every action that we take is a result of our thoughts, and it's a result of our view, and it's a result of our interpretation of the things that's going on around us. So education is with the intention of giving us additional tools, additional resources, helping us to see that we can change. That's what the education is. And then we empower. We educate, we empower. Empowerment, these are all the tools that we have access to. We're going through the Limitless Living Health Action Plan, Balance Bites, the HEAT model, the COPE model. All of those are tools that we're using, and several others, I didn't name all of them, and several others that we are using to say, hey, if I follow, if I go through, if I do these things, then I'm doing a good job for my metabolism. Remember, the things that we talk about, this is just theory, y'all. But it doesn't come to life. It doesn't get power until we infuse it with our behavior. And so that is what we want you to do, right? So we empower, we educate, we empower, and then we encourage with this amazing community that you are part of, that you are helping to build. If you wanted to go somewhere, if you want to be successful, if you want to keep going long term, then take other people with you. Because we are built for community. Community allows us to support. Community allows us to push. Community allows us to lean on each other. That's the benefit of community. And Limitless Living says that we are responsible for ourselves. The locus of control is right in here. We get to make the decisions. We get to live in the benefits and the consequences of those decisions. But it's our choice. Because we're not allowing anything from outside or anything from inside to prevent me from doing what I need to do. I'm breaking free from those boundaries, or breaking through those borders. I'm pushing through the obstacles, and I'm presenting my best self, my best health, my best plans for my life. We'll be back tomorrow as we continue in our fast. We'll do our complete check-in tomorrow, how to prepare for the fast, how to get through the fast, and then, of course, how to break the fast. Come on through, and you'll get to see what I am going to use to break my fast tomorrow. If you did not look at our episode that we did the last meal prior to the fast, that is also there on the channel. What I did was I actually got went to the restaurant tonight, and I got a to-go bag, and that's what I right now am planning to use to break the fast. So you get to see what that is. There's some modifications that I'll do to that, because one of our community members last week gave me a suggestion on what to use to break the fast for last week, and I liked it so much that I'm actually going to incorporate that into somewhat of what I'm going to eat tomorrow. So come on back through, and we'll get to watch that together. The other thing is, on Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we have Video from the Vault. On Sunday morning, we'll have This Week in Review at 6 a.m. Central. And then on Monday, we'll be right back here for Dwain Woode, MD Live, as we continue walking through the Limitless Living Health Action Plan. Keep an eye out, because Limitless Living is not just confined to this space. The Limitless Living Health Action Plan is the functional health arm of the platform that is dealing with health. But Limitless Living touches every aspect of our lives. All the domains that we did when we walked through that series, all those domains can be affected by Limitless Living. And it says that we are responsible. We get to make the choices, and we get to do what we need to do to be successful. That also means that when you show up in this space, you want to make sure that you are informing the community. Let us know what's going on. Tell us what's happening in your life, the successes you're having, the struggles that you're having. Here's the space where you get to do that. And because you are improving, because you're seeing benefits, because your blood sugars are better, because your weight's better, because you are becoming more metabolically active, don't keep that to yourself. because we get to improve the community around us with the things that we do, with the benefits we're seeing. We get to share that. There are over 1 billion people on the planet right now who have diabetes or prediabetes. Not to even mention the ones that are suffering from heart disease, peripheral artery disease, fatty liver, obesity, and we can go on and on and on that in that list. But you get to be an option for them. You get to be a voice that says, we don't have to keep having these conversations. We don't have to keep having these complications. There is a different way that we can go. And you get to say that. I'm always excited when I'm here with you. Always glad when I get to be in this space. Always, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the community that we have, the education that you are getting, the connections that you're making, as a matter of fact, right? In our community, sometimes I get these messages, or in our after the show when we meet up with our community, and people are making connections that I didn't see before. So you are teaching me as we are walking through this process together. If you've not joined our community, go ahead and make sure you join us. There's a button down here somewhere that says join. We do our after the show. So after the show, we get to meet up once a month. We do our community meetup. You get the members only videos that we do after the show with teaching, additional insights, worksheets that we or prompt questions that we get to talk about. All of those are with the intention of supplying that third component of the Triple E formula for success. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. Community is amazing. So make sure you come and you join us. But this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here in the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living that limitless life that says we're not allowing anything from outside or inside to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're breaking through those barriers and those boundaries. We're presenting our best self, our best health, and our best plans for our life. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you at our next episode, and go live a limitless life. Good night, everybody.